Today we will summarize another Greek tragedy, Agamemnon by Aeschylus, that was first published in 458 BC. It is first part of Oresteia, a trilogy by Aeschylus. So friends, at this place मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगा कि trilogy किसे कहते हैं. Trilogy is a series of three complete creative works that are related in themes or in sequence. So friends, Agamemnon is the first part of Oresteia, the second part is Libation Bearers, and the third part is Eumenides. First of all, I will introduce you the famous characters of the play, starting with the tragic hero of play, Agamemnon, the king of Argos, husband of Clytemnestra, and the commander of Greek armies. He is a great warrior and sacrifices his daughter Iphigenia in order to obtain a favorable wind to carry the Greek fleet to Troy. Arriving home, he refuses to walk on carpet, saying that he doesn't want to look like gods. But like all tragic figures, his major tragic flaw is his hubris. Another key character is Clytemnestra, the wife of Agamemnon, ruled Argos in his absence for 10 years. Bold, aggressive, and cunning, she behaves like a man, dominating those around her, including the chorus and even her own husband, when she convinces him to walk across the red carpet upon his return from the war. She shows loyalty to Agamemnon and plots his assassination at the same time. With the help of Aegisthus, she plotted the bloody murder of her husband in order to avenge Iphigenia's death. She states afterwards that she and Aegisthus will rule Argos now. Another key character, Aegisthus, cousin of Agamemnon and lover of Clytemnestra, is the son of Thyestes. Thyestes was the brother of Artias, who is Agamemnon's father. Aegisthus helps Clytemnestra in plot, but he doesn't commit the murder himself. The chorus consider him to be a coward and calls him a woman. He avenges the murder of his siblings and exile of his father, Thyestes, by Agamemnon's father, Artias. Cassandra, a Trojan princess captured by Agamemnon and carried to Argos as his mistress, given powers of prophecy by god Apollo, but also cursed that no one will believe her prophecies because she refused to make sex with god Apollo. She tries to warn chorus about Clytemnestra's plot, but they don't believe her. The brave Cassandra then willingly enters the palace, knowing that she will be murdered there by Clytemnestra. She asks Apollo that whoever it is that will avenge Agamemnon's death, let the person remember her and avenge her death as well. Chorus also functions as a character because chorus members represent elder citizens of Argos. They serve as advisors to queen and make many announcements beside audience. So friends, before the opening of the plot of the play, I would like to introduce you the background of play. तो ये बात है उन दिनों की जब आर्टियस के ग्रैंडफादर ने अपने बेटे पिलोप्स को गॉड्स के लिए कुर्बान किया, मगर ज़्यूस ने उसे बचा लिया. बताता चलूं, ज़्यूस ग्रीक का एक गॉड है. ज़्यूस ने उसे बचा लिया और दो बेटों आर्टियस और थायेस्टिस से नवाजा. इसके बाद आर्टियस एर्गोस का राजा बन गया. थायेस्टिस ने हसद की आग में अपने भाई आर्टियस की वाइफ को सिड्यूस किया, जिसके रिजल्ट में आर्टियस ने थायेस्टिस को दावत पर बुलाया. दावत पर बुलाकर उसके दो बेटों को पकाकर एज अ डिश उसको सर्व कर दिया. यहाँ से एर्गोस पर स्पेशली आर्टियस के घर पर कर्स का आगाज हो गया. थायेस्टिस को जिलावतन कर दिया गया. आफ्टर अ लॉन्ग टाइम थायेस्टिस के बेटे एगिस्तस ने एर्गोस पर हमला करके वहां कब्जा कर लिया और आर्टियस के दोनों बेटों एगामेम्नॉन और मेनिलस को एग्जाइल कर दिया. इसके बाद इन दो भाइयों ने स्पार्टा नामी जगह पर अपनी किंगडम की बुनियाद डाली. वहां एगामेम्नॉन ने एक प्रिंसेस क्लाइटेमनेस्ट्रा और मेनिलस ने क्लाइटेमनेस्ट्रा की बहन हेलन से शादी कर ली. आफ्टर सम टाइम दोनों भाइयों ने एर्गोस पर हमला करके एगिस्तस को जलावतन कर दिया और अब एगामेम्नॉन यहाँ का, जबकि मेनिलस स्पार्टा का राजा बन चुका था. एगामेम्नॉन इस वक्त एर्गोस का राजा है. विद द पैसेज ऑफ टाइम एक ट्रोजन प्रिंस पेरिस स्पार्टा आया और उसे हेलन की खूबसूरती ने काफी अट्रैक्ट किया. हेलन भी उससे प्यार में गिरफ्तार हो गई और उसके साथ एस्केप कर गई. अपने भाई मेनलिस की तौहीन का बदला लेने के लिए, उसकी वाइफ को वापस लाने के लिए एगामेम्नॉन ने 1000 शिप्स पर मुश्तमिल आर्मी तैयार की और ट्रॉय पर हमले की तैयारियां करने लगा। उसे बताया गया कि इस जंग के लिए फिजा नासाजगार है, अगर वो इसे साजगार बनाना चाहता है तो उसे गोडस आर्टिमिस की कुर्बानगाह पर अपनी बेटी इफिजीनिया की कुर्बानी देनी होगी। एंड क्लाइमिस्ट्रा के रोकने के बावजूद एगामेम्नॉन ने अपनी बेटी इफिजीनिया को कुर्बान कर दिया और ट्रॉय पर हमले के लिए रवाना हो गया। तो ये जंग तकरीबन 10 साल तक जारी रही। So let's review the plot of the play Agamemnon. The play opens in the Greece city of Argos, on the roof of royal palace, where a watchman is waiting for good news from the battlefield. And then he sees a beacon of light coming towards palace. That is a symbol of victory in war. Watchman joyfully runs to tell the news to Queen Clytemnestra. When he is gone, the chorus enters and tells the story of how Trojan Prince Paris stolen Helen, the wife of the Greek king Menelaus, leading to the 10 years of war between Greece and Troy. The chorus recalls how Agamemnon sacrificed his daughter Iphigenia and obtained a favorable wind for the Greek fleet. The queen appears and the chorus asks her why she has ordered sacrifices of thanksgiving, कि उसने शुक्राने के तौर पर कुर्बानियों का हुक्म क्यों दिया है। She tells them that Troy fell the previous night, कि ट्रॉय को शिकस्त हो गई है। The chorus give thanks to the gods but wonder if her news is true. A herald appears and confirms the news, describing armies suffering at Troy and giving thanks for a safe homecoming. So viewers, the word herald is used for a royal messenger. एक रॉयल मैसेंजर आकर एगामेम्नॉन की फतह, ट्रॉय के जवाब और अपनी अफवाज की तफसीलात से आगाह करता है। क्लाइमिस्ट्रा उसे वापस अपने हस्बैंड के पास भेजती है कि उसे बताए कि वो पुरसकून होकर आ जाए उस मैसेंजर की वापसी से कबल। कोरस उसे मेनुलस के बारे में दरियाफ्त करता है, जिस पर उन्हें बताता है कि वापसी के रास्ते में उन्हें एक सख्त तूफान ने आ घेरा और इस तरह मेनुलस और कई दूसरे लोग स्टिल मिसिंग हैं। The chorus sings of the terrible, destructive power of Helen's beauty. Agamemnon enters, riding in his chariot with Cassandra, a Trojan princess whom he has taken as his slave and concubine. Literally, concubine is a woman who is a mistress to a man with a wife, or a man who can't be married to her because of a difference in social status. Clytemnestra welcomes him, showing her love, and orders a carpet of purple robes spread in front of him as he enters the palace. Agamemnon acts coldly towards her and says that to walk on the carpet would be an act of hubris or dangerous pride. However, she agrees him to walk on the carpet for entering the palace. The chorus expresses a sense of foreboding. Foreboding means you can say that what is about to happen. Clytemnestra comes outside to order Cassandra to come inside. The Trojan princess is silent and the queen leaves her in the frustration. The Cassandra begins to speak, uttering incoherent prophecies about a curse on the house of Agamemnon. She tells that chorus that they will see the king dead, says that she will die as well, and then predicts then an avenger will come. After these bold predictions, she, knowing each and everything, enters the palace. A few moments later, chorus hear Agamemnon's cry out in pain from inside. The doors opens and Clytemnestra appears, standing over the dead bodies of her husband and Cassandra. She declares that she has killed him to avenge Iphigenia, and then is joined by her lover Aegisthus, Agamemnon's cousin, whose brothers were cooked and served to him by Agamemnon's father. Now, Clytemnestra and Aegisthus take over the government, and the chorus declares that Clytemnestra's son Orestes will return from the exile to avenge his father Agamemnon and Cassandra.